Smallville, Smallville, Small. I don't know. I'm making up my own Smallville theme song. Anyway, season 6. That's what we're here to talk about. Um, well, I've been warned by many people saying that season 6 is pretty much the beginning of the end. After season 5, the show goes downhill. To be honest, I think that's pretty true with any TV show. After season 5, if you continue, it's gonna go down. It's gonna dip in quality. Smallville was definitely not an exception. Now, don't get me wrong, I did enjoy this season a lot. There was a lot to enjoy. There was a lot that I really liked. However, compared to the past seasons, with the exception of 3, because I didn't really care for season 3. I can barely remember season 3. um, Compared to the past seasons, I can definitely be pretty critical of this season while still enjoying it. Again, it's definitely showing signs of aging. The quality is dipping. So yeah, it is going downhill. But not it hasn't really hit rock bottom yet. Because this was a good season. Season 6 was good. My main complaint is the show lacked focus. There was not a very wide variety of focus. That doesn't make sense. That's basically it. The show lacked focus, and what I mean by that is, I personally couldn't tell what the main storyline was, what the main story arc was. Every season for a good TV show should have a main story arc, even if every episode is different. It has its own plot. There should be a story arc that's constantly referenced throughout the series, throughout the season. And this season didn't have that. It was all over the place in many ways. The first episode deals with Clark, who has been sent to the Phantom Zone. He's trying to get out, so he meets Rhea, Jor-El's assistant, and she helps him escape the Phantom Zone. But unfortunately, after a battle between Clark and a whole bunch of prisoners of the Phantom Zone, Clark is sent back to Earth, but some prisoners escape with him. So I thought, okay, this season is gonna deal with Clark trying to put those guys back into the Phantom Zone. And then, once the season kicks off, that seems to be the premise, but that just, I would say there's only like 5 episodes that deal with the Phantom. Excuse me. Deal with the Phantom Zone and the escapees directly. Most of the season seemed to revolve mostly around Lex Luthor and Lana Lang, who are now a couple. They're now in love, I guess. And it's so weird. I mean, it feels like such a betrayal to see those two together after watching the past 5 seasons and seeing Clark and Lana in love, or at least, trying to fall in love, trying to admit their feelings. That's what we looked for. I mean, this series, I don't want to say it began the shipper wars, where people, where people rooted for certain relationships, but this is one of those shows that started that, and of course everybody wanted Lana and Clark to be together. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted that too. It felt right. But now that in this season we have Lana and Lex together, it feels so wrong. And it didn't just come out of nowhere. They did a good job in setting that up with the past season. Lana and Lex spent a lot of time together. and Lex always had a thing for Lana. I mean, who wouldn't? She's gorgeous. Um, so they did set it up, but now that it's happening, it just feels so odd and so weird to see those two together. While Clark is literally in his barn throwing a baseball back and forth and throwing the baseball at a wall and catching it. Um, Literally, there's an episode where Lana and Lex are about to get down, and Clark is just at home throwing his baseball, tennis ball against the wall, catching it. It's kind of sucks. But anyway, Michael Rosenborn, I can never say his name right, and Kristen Kirk definitely had that awkward chemistry that they needed to have. You can tell that they weren't fully in love, but it's just this really sinister relationship that was pretty interesting to watch, but at the same time felt like such a betrayal. Um, so that was it. Seemed like the season revolved around that, their conflicts. I mean, you know what? One of the major things absent from this season was Lionel Luthor, John Glover. This season did not have enough John Glover. And it's kind of funny because most of the past seasons dealt with Lex and Lionel always constantly butting heads, but this season didn't have that until towards the end, which is kind of funny. It's like, oh, remember these two? They hate each other. We gotta make them hate each other once again. And then Lionel turns out to be a very important part of the series. Definitely an important part in Clark's life, in Martha Kent's life. Um, but it feels kind of rushed towards the end, because it's all towards the end where we get these revelations that he's actually what is he? He's connected to Jor-El in a way to get Clark to be the man he's supposed to be. So again, this season didn't have a lot of focus, and one of the biggest, I guess, assets of this season, which was good. I liked this part of the season. We get to meet Oliver Queen, Smallville's version of Oliver Queen, aka the Green Arrow. Now, I love the current series of Arrow. It's one of my favorites. I watch it religiously. I love it. It's so awesome. It's a great take on the character, and Stephen Amell is awesome as Oliver Queen, and it's just an awesome show, you know. So if you're not watching that, I highly recommend it. So it was a little different, and it was a little odd seeing a different take. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of takes on the Green Arrow. I mean, he's been around since what, the 40s? So the 40s or 50s, I don't know. So obviously, you know, there were, you know, different incarnations of the character before the CW created its own show on the character. So it just felt a little weird to me, since I love Stephen Amell's Green Arrow more. I'm more connected to it. But going backwards and seeing this incarnation was kind of surreal, but it was well done. The actor who played Oliver Queen did a really good job, and I liked that the series revolved around, or this season revolved around that character, and there was a relationship between him and Lois Lane, who continues to be the hottest Lois Lane ever. And now she's a full-time, like, journalist. She's dedicated to becoming a journalist. You know, you had all the nods in the past seasons where she's like, I'll never be a journalist. I can't imagine getting into other people's business. So now she's the Lois Lane she's on her way to being the Lois Lane that we know and I guess kind of love. Um, but anyway, she continues to be Erica Durance continues to be pretty good in the show. Um, definitely, my favorite episode is Justice because that's when we get to see a. They don't call themselves the Justice League, but it's like the beginning of Justice League. Clark, Oliver, the guy that played what the hell's his name? Arthur Curry, Aquaman. What the hell is that other guy's name? Cyborg. I'm trying to think of the actual name of the character, but Cyborg. And then you got a speedster who doesn't call himself the Flash. They work together, and they take down a facility which is harboring or actually holding people with special abilities captive, and it's being ran by Lex Luthor. So the whole plot is to take out that facility, and that was a really good episode until you find out that there's more facilities like this throughout the country, or actually throughout the world, and that's where the Green Arrow exits. And of course, Clark is left behind because he has stuff to do. So hopefully we get to see more of those characters in the coming seasons. Again, I'm watching this series for the first time ever, so if you're watching this, you're probably thinking, yeah, of course you'll see more of them, dummy. Well, I don't know that. But again, you have these different storylines and a lot of episodic episodes where they just feel like filler episodes. For instance, there's this one that deals with an illegal immigrant kid who he escapes this farmer he's basically I don't know how this guy does it, but if you escape his farm, he'll suck you from underneath the ground. I'm sure Donald Trump would love this guy. But anyway, definitely a filler episode. Good episode. A lot of good episodes, I'm not gonna lie. But way too many filler episodes. Again, it was hard to pinpoint what the main storyline was. To me, it felt like it should have been the Phantom Zone, but it was more about Lana and Lex and the love triangle between them and Clark. It got really repetitive in many ways. So I'm gonna look down the episode list to kind of figure out what the highlights were. Oh yeah, Clark Kent got a cold. We also get Jimmy Olsen, which is so funny because he's played by I think it's Aaron Ashmore. I find it funny because we have Shawn Ashmore, who's the more famous actor. He's of course Iceman in the X-Men movies. He was in the following. It's so funny how the twin brothers they play different characters in the series, but yet they were both cast in this show, and I have a feeling that they were hoping no one would notice. So that's why if you look at, I don't know if you could tell in the last video that I did, but when I held this up and I was looking at it, I was like, wait, is that? I was referring to Ashmore, because I'm thinking, wait a minute, is that Shawn Ashmore? I didn't know Shawn Ashmore had a twin brother, so when I saw him, I'm like, that his character is gone. Wait a minute. So again, pretty interesting how we get the Ashmore twins to be in this series, and he's pretty good. He's pretty talented. But yeah, he plays Jimmy Olsen. Him and Chloe have a fling. They actually get into a relationship, which is kind of sweet, kind of annoying at the same time. But anyway, That was pretty cool. You get to see Jimmy Olsen. Um, let's see. So yeah, Clark got a cold. Uh, Something to do with charity. It was a charity ball. And whatever. It doesn't seem very. And of course we got Oliver Queen. Let's see. Fallout. What's Fallout? Oh yeah, Bow Wow. Bow Wow came. Bow Wow guest starred. That's awesome, I guess. Bow Wow. Funny how when that episode starts, he's playing basketball, and they got his song "Fresh as Amuse" playing in the background, basically telling you, guess what? This guy, that's Bow Wow. He's a rapper. This is his song. I'll admit though, he did a good job in the episode. So, okay. Rage. Which one was Rage? Oliver. Oh yeah, Oliver gets shot. Whatever. I'm just looking down the list, looking for highlights. This was definitely a low point. I joked on Twitter. I'm like, what? Tori Spelling guest starred on Smallville? That's it. I'm done. Can't do this no more. The fact that they got Tori Spelling to be on this show, it's like, why? Why would you do that? And she played like a water creature, a woman who had the ability to thorn into water. Again, Justice, that was a good episode. There were some interesting episodes. One episode I got a kick out of was, first of all, you have the wedding. You have this beautiful wedding between Lex and Lana, and that was a pretty good episode because, it's revealed that she doesn't want to marry Lex, but she has to. She's forced into it. And she loves Clark. And that's actually when you find out, or when Lana finds out that Clark has these abilities. Which in a way felt a little cheap. I was kind of hoping that she would find out in a smarter way, but whatever. And then you have Combat, which is the episode I got a kick out of. You had Kane fighting Clark Kent, which was kind of cool. But the one episode, wait, which one is Nemesis? Nemesis, that was a good episode. That was a really good episode. Nemesis, when Lex is, he's in a tunnel system. There's bombs all over the place. The whole place is collapsing. Clark goes to rescue him. And it's Clark and Clark and Lex are no longer friends. They're enemies. And I love the confrontation between them. How, Clark questions, were we ever really friends? And it was a pretty good emotional scene in the midst of a bunch of destruction happening. But yeah, that was pretty good. That's when you really know that these two are never going to be friends. Ever again. So that was a good episode. But the 20th episode of the season, Noir, I can't say it. Noir. It was a good episode in many ways, but one major flaw stood out to me. Okay, so the episode deals with Lana getting shot. Pretty big deal. And it happens like nothing. Like, Lana's just been shot. For what reason, we don't know. She gets shot at the Daily Planet. Chloe and Jimmy find her. And then there's this whole crime scene. Lois gets nosy and takes some evidence from the scene. But anyway, Jimmy is trying to solve the mystery. Who shot her? while he's doing some research on his computer, somebody knocks him out, and he has a dream that he's a detective put into a private eye, the same thing, placed in a 1940. The whole episode is, it plays out like a 1940s film noir. It's in black and white. It has all the. I really give major props to the director and the creative team that worked on this episode, because they really capture some excellent 1940s film noir elements, and they replicate it into this episode. From everything from the speech patterns that they used, to the way they held guns, to just it was a beautiful homage. What am I saying? Beautiful homage. You know how some people say homage and it's not homage, to 1940s film noirs. But I only have one problem with the episode. Lana just got shot. She's one of your main characters, and it's not even much of a big deal. Obviously, you have to solve who shot her, but no one has any emotion towards it. Chloe finds her, and it's almost like she has a surprised look on her face. Not like a surprised look of terror, but more of a surprise. It's my birthday kind of look. I don't know. It's so weird. You would think, Lana, oh my God, Lana, no. People would be crying and like, even if it wasn't a fatal wound, it's still a friend of yours that got shot. So it's kind of funny how this was a very creative episode, but yet it's almost like they didn't show any respect to one of the main characters of the show. So that was my issue with that episode. But either way, it was good. I liked it. But again, like everything from this season, there may have been some good stuff to it, but there was a lot of flaws to it. Now, let's talk about which one is the prototype? That wasn't really an interesting episode. Phantom, the final episode of this season. These season finales get better and better. It's so funny, even if the seasons aren't that great, the finales always rock. And this was a good one, because God, it just sucked me in. I was just so excited while watching it, even though I knew damn well so much of it wasn't going to be resolved. It was all just a series of cliffhangers, but it was very well done. You know, what I liked was, we find out in the series that we find out in this season that Chloe, which is really cool, we got to see Linda Carter in this season. She played Chloe's mom, who was infected by the meteor rocks when the meteor shower happened. And it was passed on to Chloe, but she didn't know what her power was. And apparently we find out what her power is. But it's got a big drawback. Lois goes into a cave and she stumbles upon something. She's being nosy, being the journalist that we know. She stumbles upon something. She has a confrontation with a guard, and she's stabbed with a very, very big knife, a Rambo knife. That's not the kind of knife you want to be stabbed with and live. Chloe finds her. Lois is dead. Chloe picks up, please don't, no. She cries on her, and somehow she sacrifices her life for Lois. Now, I don't know if she's going to come back in the next season, I hope, because I like Chloe. But if she doesn't, that would be an excellent death for her character, to sacrifice herself for her cousin. That would be a very nice close to her arc, I suppose. But anyway, that was interesting. Of course, we get Lana telling Lex that she's gone. She's leaving him. He's upset, and he even tells her like a couple of scenes before that, "Don't you ever betray me." And it's like, oh, big words. So we get Lion now trying to protect Lana, trying to help Clark. Clark gets really. He finds out that Lionel forced. He was part of the reason why Lana married Lex, because he basically coerced her into it, forced her into it, and Clark gets very angry. We see a very angry Clark nearly killing Lionel, so that was a really good touch. And then, of course, Lana, she wants to leave Lex. She gets into a truck, her Jeep, whatever, and boom! Car gone with Lana inside. So, is she dead? Again, I haven't seen this, so don't. Not that anybody's gonna comment, not that anybody is even watching this, but don't spoil it for me. I have a feeling that a speedster or even Martian Manhunter, who I forgot to mention, we get to see Martian Manhunter in this season. I have a feeling that somebody rescued her. So, I'm pretty sure she's fine. Because that would be a really unusual death for her. If Chloe dies, that's a good death. That's a good, powerful death. But if Lana died in that car bomb, I don't know, it just doesn't feel strong enough for that character. And that's another thing. It feels like Lana didn't really have. It really feels like her days are numbered. I know that eventually she leaves the show. I don't know under what circumstances. Maybe that was it. I'll find out when I start watching season 7 very soon. But this season definitely felt like her days were numbered. Anyway, boom, she goes. We'll see what happens. But the best, most exciting moment was when Clark goes into. Give me a second. Let me look at something real quick so I don't sound like an idiot. Well, pretty much, Clark finds the last Phantom, the final Phantom that needs to be sent back to the zone. Gets to a major fight with him. His DNA is some of his DNA is stolen by the Phantom, and it becomes a version of Clark that's just a little bizarre. I wonder who that could be. They have an awesome fight. It's an epic fight. It's really damn good. Even though it's a short fight, because they literally start fighting in the last minutes of the season. And I'm like, son of a bitch, he's gonna end on a cliffhanger, which is why I want to end this video and I want to watch it now. But yeah, that wasn't a very climactic episode, climactic season finale, and it was damn good. So even if the season was flawed, the finale was awesome. I liked the finale a lot. So again, this season was kind of mixed up, kind of rocky, kind of shifty, but I still very much enjoyed it. I still had a really good time watching it. And this is probably like my longest Smallville video, so that's not good. But I had a lot to say about this season. I feel like I'm leaving stuff out, stuff that I really wanted to say, even while watching the series. I'm like, I gotta say that in my video. But I guess that's it. I'm satisfied with it overall, but I could definitely see that it's going downhill. So anyway, we're about to hit the 30-minute mark. I don't want to do that. I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. If you've watched this video, comment down below. Let me know your memories. Tell me your memories of the season and what you didn't like and what you did like. And I will see you guys next time when I'm done with season 7, which happens to have this very pretty blonde in it. Who could that be? Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. 30 minutes. Bye.